I could use this as a thumbnail. Hold up. Right there, that's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail of this bitch. Last week, Apple announced a brand new iPad. Just iPad. And it's replacing the iPad that we've seen at that $330 price point since 2017 when they brought back the vanilla iPad name. But just how much is different? And should you get the new one over the old one? What are you missing out on if you go for the old one? Well, today we're going to discuss that, and while we're doing that, we're going to unbox not only one, but two of the 8th generation iPad. Let's get started. So let's get started with quite possibly the best color that I've seen on an iPad since rose gold went away. The gold iPad, which unfortunately Apple axed this year. There's only space gray and silver, no gold. However, the silver does get an upgrade. It gets black bezels on the front. Thank God. This is what your iPad will look like. I'll try to get it in focus. There's some smudges on it. Tell I didn't buy this brand new. So this is what the iPad looks like. It's looked very similar to this since the iPad Air in 2013. It's grown, it's shrunk, it's been almost unchanged for forever. And then in the box, underneath the iPad, you get a little packet with all of your documentation in it. Quick start guide to your iPad, some legal documentation, and I'm supposed to have stickers in here. Oh, you son of a bitch. The person that owned this before me did not include the Apple stickers. What an asshole. But normally you get a pair of Apple stickers in here. I got gypped out of mine because I bought mine secondhand. Really a ludicrous price though. I got the iPad and the keyboard case for the price of the keyboard case, so not complaining. You'll also get a Lightning to USB Type-C cable. It's about a meter long, and you'll also get is this the 18 or 20 watt? 20 watt USB-C power brick. So we'll put that off to the side, and we'll get this turned on. And while that's turning on, let's take a look at the space gray one. This is an interesting one. This is the 128 gig iPad, but this one I've smacked a skin on it. It's a blue carbon fiber skin. They should make iPads in colors like this, but yours will not look like this unless you skin it. I skinned mine at Slick Wraps, so I'll leave a link down in the description for that. I'm gonna power this one on as well. Let's see, did I get Apple stickers with this one? I did. So these are the Apple stickers that you're supposed to get when you buy the iPad. And then same with the last one, your USB-C to Lightning cable and your 20 watt USB-C power brick. These are, well, I guess 1.5, because you're not gonna see this, but these are two of the colors that you can get the iPad 8th gen in. And this is, I guess, half of a color, but one of the colors that you can get the iPad 9th generation in, space gray. This is no longer present on the 9th generation iPad. So if you're in it for the color, that's the first reason you should buy last year's model. The second reason is price. These started at $330 for this one. This is the 32 gig option. 32 is maybe a little small, which they did fix on the new ones. It starts at 64 and your options are 64 and 256 instead of 32 and 128, but they started at $330. You can find these for pretty cheap, usually somewhere like $200, $180 range if you look hard enough. So price, if it's something you care about, definitely get last year's model. But what are the differences? What makes me want to make this video in the first place? Well, not much. Between the two generations, there's really one thing that changed significantly and one thing that changes slightly. So the slight change is the new 9th gen iPad supports True Tone. And basically what that will do is it will kind of shift the white balance either a little cooler or a little warmer depending on your surroundings, so it's a little less hard on your eyes. Most people don't use that. Some people don't even notice it or don't even care. The big feature though is the front camera. It's now an ultra wide angle camera. It's, I believe it's 122 degrees of field of view. So that's gonna be something incredibly similar, if not identical, to the iPad Pro that they released earlier this year. With that brings down center stage. And what that does is it will crop in, so it looks like a regular wide angle, and then it will use the extra space from the ultra wide and kind of like follow you throughout the frame, and it will zoom out and punch in depending on where you are or who's in the frame. It's pretty cool, especially if you're like doing Zoom meetings and stuff, but that's about it. I mean, it's 12 megapixels now instead of, I think it was 8 on the last one, so your selfies are gonna look super crispy, but no one should be taking photos with their iPad, ever. Don't do it. But aside from the camera and sort of the display, nothing's changed. Your screen is still not laminated, so you're gonna have that air gap between the actual glass and the display panel. It still supports the first generation Apple Pencil, which I also have right here. It still charges in the same stupid way that every iPad has ever charged the first gen Apple Pencil. This is dumb. It's now the only iPad to support the first generation Apple Pencil, so there's that. And by extension, it's the only iPad that doesn't have USB-C. Still keeping around the lightning connector. It also still supports the original smart keyboard, not the keyboard folio. It still snaps onto the side with the magnets. You gotta do your silly little origami trick with it, you know, to get it to work like that. It's still, for the most part, the same beast. That's mostly a good thing, but also kind of not bad, but kind of saddening thing. Not much has changed, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's very quickly becoming broke. It's very outdated, and it's intentional, you know. They gave it the A13 Bionic, which shipped in the 11 series in 2019, and then the SE in early 2020. It's still got the same 3 gigs of RAM. As I mentioned before, it's the same beast. Not much has changed, but that also is a good thing. All your accessories still work with it. It's the exact same footprint. Nothing externally has changed aside from the color, which I'm going to be extremely butthurt over for quite a while. Everything's still there. Your original Apple Pencil or your Logitech Crayon will still work with this. You know, your keyboard folio will still work with this. If you have smart covers or cases or really any accessories specific to the 10.2 inch iPads, they will still work. And it really is just an iterative spec bump. I am interested to see, however, what they're gonna do with the iPad 10. Or is it the iPad 10? We'll have to wait and see. I'm still planning on getting one. I still plan to go to the Apple Store Friday morning, do the rounds, grab a bunch of the new stuff, you know, permitting that they have it in stock. So right now, as it stands, do you need to get the new iPad, or can you suffice with last year's or even the year before? Unless you're gonna be super into center stage, right? Unless you're super into it following you around, I don't think you need it. Again, my opinion could change when I get my hands on the new one. I'm gonna hopefully use these as a trade-in fodder to offset those $330 dues. If 32 gigs is just not enough for you and you're looking to spend exactly $330, probably get the new one. If you like this color, get the old one, because you don't have many options on the new one. Just get whatever one you can get your hands on for the most reasonable price. They're largely the same. They're just a small spec bump. I don't think they're bringing anything super fantastic to the table with the new processor or True Tone or anything like that. They should really, oh, don't break it. You can trade it in and get money. There's not much different. Do what works best for you is my final advice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, check out my website where I have an article on the new iPad, and I go super in-depth on it. It's technology&toys.com, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.